Hi everyone, this is Lindsay. Welcome back to my channel if you've seen my first video. If you are new, then welcome to my channel. um, if you've seen my first video, you know a little bit about me. I'm 34 years old. I have 4 children. I have a busy life. I work part-time. It's kind of crazy around here. So this video is how I juggle all of that and manage my time and somehow keep my sanity. Uh, you'll probably see me periodically looking over here. I have some notes over here. So I want to start off by first kind of giving you a little background, like why I am where I'm at right now. I worked outside of the home when my husband and I were married, and I had a son that is now older, but he was only a few years old at the time. So he was in daycare. I was working a job. Soon after we were married, I got pregnant with our daughter. But my job was stressful. I was working late hours. I was on my feet a lot, and my husband just came in the room. So if you hear some noise, it's him. He might be watching TV. So anyway, it led to some issues with my pregnancy. So I made the decision to quit my job. Somewhere in there, and I can't remember the exact time, but I was diagnosed with a thyroid issue. I have hypothyroidism. If you're not sure what that is, Google it, look it up, ask your doctor, whatever. My thyroid doesn't work the way it should. It's underactive, so it affects a lot of things in my health. So I quit my job, stayed at home till she was born. Soon after I found out I was having some other health issues. I was very sick, a lot flu symptoms, and I actually didn't think I was pregnant again so soon because of this type of symptoms and the severity of the symptoms. So, long story short on that, I was diagnosed with Crohn's disease and ulcerative colitis. That's another thing you can Google. It's a big mess, and it's not curable, but it's treatable. So, of course, my daughter had already been born. I was breastfeeding, so it was kind of like, what can I do to treat this? So I only went on a low dose of steroids for a short amount of time, then I was weaned off of it. Still able to breastfeed the whole time. So fast forward a little bit to get the health things under control, but I realized it was going to make it difficult to work a full-time job with the health issues and 2 children to take care of. So I made the decision to work from home, running a home daycare. I went through the whole application process of that, and I got my license, and soon after I started watching children. Throughout that time, I, got pregnant with my 2 other sons and had them, which was nice because I could stay home while I was, raising them, and I didn't have to worry about taking long maternity leave because it really wasn't necessary. So I did that for 10 years, and a little over 10 years. And in that time, I I completed a 2-year business degree, a degree in business administration, to try to maybe help my business along. We did have some financial ups and downs with that because of the fact that I had to pay for some classes, not just with my degree, but we had to have 15 hours of in-service credit when you have a child care license. It's probably more by now, but this is in the state of Illinois. And not all the classes were free. Forgive me, I got a little bit of tickle in my throat. So that money came out of that, and every year, you had regulations and things you had to pay for. So I also had families who were receiving child care assistance from the state of Illinois, and anybody that knows how the state of Illinois is working right now, it's been that way for a while. They just been on a downhill slope, I think, for a long time. So that really affected my business, and my husband wasn't making a ton of money at the time. He actually was working at a local concrete plant just before we got pregnant with our youngest. He was laid off because they decided they're going to close the plant here in Paxton. Long story, a company bought them out, and it was a mess. So he had the option to move out of state and work, but we just didn't have the resources, nor did we want to relocate. So we dealt with unemployment benefits, and my daycare actually was slowing down a lot. And we had a baby on the way. Thank God for people that stepped in to help us. We said a lot of prayers, and it just all worked out. But eventually, it started to come to a head where it just was not lucrative for me to keep the business. So I did a little part-time childcare for a friend of ours who's divorced, and watched his kids part-time, and I cleaned houses part-time. Ended up with a shoulder injury. That's a long story as well. While having the treatment for my shoulder, I had a stress-induced kind of spell, and I had a fainting, a near fainting spell, I guess you could say. But my doctor basically said, you need to reduce your stress. You need to make a change. So that's what I did. I sat down to try to see what we could do. And my mother, thankfully, she could see that I was stressed as well. But she was also dealing with some stress herself with her business. She needed some help. So, here I had this business degree. She thought we could put it to good use. So I work with her part-time in her business, but I can do some things from home. So it's like I work from home most of the time, but then I do stuff for her about 15 to 20 hours a week. Excuse me. Sorry, we ate dinner fast. So I do that. Starting that, we didn't have a lot of money at the time, so I had to use my creativeness and be thrifty and find some clothes for myself. Now, if you have kids, your money pretty much goes to them most of the time. My wardrobe consisted of clothes that could get dirty or messed up or get paint on them, whatever. So I thought, I need almost a whole new wardrobe, or at least just a few staples, like some black dress pants, whatever. Some things to get me by that I can mix and match. I got some things from family and friends, went to consignment shops. That is how we get by in our tough times. So I did that. So that helped me keep my sanity because I wasn't spending a ton of money. So then the problem that arose was creating a new routine. Now, we'd always had routines for the children. For, 10 years I had a similar routine all the time because it didn't really change. My husband worked. I was at home with the daycare. I had a daycare routine, and I still kept some of that and carried that over into my family life when I was no longer doing full-time daycare. Breakfast by a certain time, lunch, and then dinner by a certain roundabout time. And we'd have a snack about between 3 and 3:30. And we have kind of a set bedtime for our kids, and they get ready, within 15-20 minutes before that. So we kept that routine. But as far as like daily stuff that changed daily, we had to change that up a little bit because I had a laundry routine for so long. I had a schedule each day for when I did what, and we had chores different days, but that had to change when I started working because I didn't have all this time at home to do what I needed to do. Then when I was home, the kids were wanting to do their stuff. It just didn't balance out. So basically, my kids, my 2 older kids, they do their own laundry. My husband does his work laundry. I have a day that I do mine and my husband's other laundry and my boys' laundry. And then I have a separate day where I wash bed sheets and towels. But because we have a big washing machine, I literally only do like 6 loads of laundry a week. So if you average that out, that's less than a load of laundry a day. But, if you don't count Sundays, that's a load a day. But I don't do all those loads. So, and with my younger boys, they're old enough. 7 and 9 is old enough to put away their own laundry. I wash it, dry it, throw it in the basket. They put it away. Give them an incentive to do it. Time on the electronics, they're fine. They want a little bit, but then they're fine with it. They put it away. I'm like, if you want to know where your laundry is, put it away. And then they have their chores. They have certain chores a day. I split it up so everybody has kind of equal chores. My older kids, of course, have a little bit more responsibility because, I want them to show that they can earn things. Like my daughter has a phone. It's only a track phone. My older son has a cell phone. He kind of needs it because he is gone a lot working and things like that. So they earn what they get. So how I stay sane through all of this, I have to make time for myself, and I have to find like a spot. You kind of just have to pick a spot in the house that's quiet, even if it's only quiet for like 10 minutes a day, that you can go to a spot that's not being used. And moms, please, 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 I beg of you, don't feel like you have to degrade yourself and go into the bathroom. If you have kids or boys, for instance, like me, the bathroom is just a dirty, gross place. No matter how many times a day you clean it, or how many times a week, I should say. In my house, my bathrooms are gross. Even my own bathroom, you know, I don't clean it as often as I should because it's my bathroom. Nobody else really goes in it. So yeah, but I find a place, sometimes someplace quiet, and I don't tell my kids that I'm going there. I put a movie on for them and I sneak away when they're zoned in on the TV. Because if I tell them where I go, it doesn't matter what they're doing. They could be totally enthralled by something. I kid you not, within 30 seconds, they will find me. So find that place and sneak away. If you cannot find a place, headphones, noise canceling, or like the earbuds that drown everything out, just put them in. You don't even have to be listening to anything on the other end. You can put them in, read a book, zone out, meditate, whatever. All it takes is about 5-10 minutes of that just to rejuvenate yourself, regroup, you know, just let your mind just relax for a little bit so you can either go to sleep if you do it in the evening, but I suggest finding time in the middle of the day so you can just get through the rest of your day without losing your shit, okay? Another thing is plan out meals, plan out your bills. I will go into detail about that on another video because that's a big topic in and of itself. But planning out your meals is a godsend. Not really a godsend, but for per se, but it's a great idea to keep everybody happy. And you're not constantly telling the kids to get out of the kitchen and quit eating all the food. So if they see that meal plan, they'll be fine. It takes them a while to get used to it, but, you know, my kids, they get over it. And one more thing I want to add for anybody has a significant other, spouse, or maybe just a real close friend that you live with, but this is mostly for people in a relationship. You want to make time for, you know, you as a couple. You basically, you need a date night. And I strongly, strongly encourage this, because if you don't make that time for yourselves and you get all wrapped up in your family life and in your kids' schedules and everything, you kind of lose sight on why you're with this person. You almost forget each other sometimes. You need to come together and find time, and maybe even just for a few minutes every day too, just talk about what's on your mind, and just kind of get on the same page. But date nights are great once a month at least. It can be Burger King and a walk through the park. We've even had my parents watch the kids for a few hours for us to just go eat at like Steak and Shake on the $4 menu or with coupons, whatever, and then we go do our groceries. And since I make lists, it makes it easier. We can just get through the store. But it's that time for us together to just talk about us. We don't necessarily talk about schedules or the kids or whatever. You know, just that time to be reminded of why you were together in the first place. You know, why you love each other, why you respect each other, things like that. And just take time for you. Heck, I don't care if you even want to sit there and renew your wedding vows. If that's what helps you, that's wonderful. So these are just some things that we do in our lives, what I do to keep my sanity and keep things going. And it doesn't